Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley, and today for y'all I have some Christmas DIYs. So with that being said, let's get to it. So starting off, for this Christmas garland, you want to pick yourself up some cardboard. You can use any that you have in hand at home. It can be a cereal box, a diaper box. Just make sure it's thin cardboard, by the way. And I am simply just tracing some circles. I ended up using a Play-Doh cup to trace my circles. And once my circles were traced, I went ahead and painted them white. As my base, you want to start off and paint them white. So once my circles were all dried up, I am moving on to making my template. I simply traced another circle with my Play-Doh cup and found the center of the circle and did the little peppermint design, and then I just ended up cutting it out. And I am going to test this out to see if it works because I have never done this before. So I am just simply tracing and rotating, tracing and rotating. And at the end, I made sure I had 6 triangles to paint. So if you end up doing it this way, just go ahead and do it a couple times. That way you can get the hang of it. Or you can simply go on Google and type a peppermint design and it should pop up. And just print out a template and glue it onto the cardstock. And that way you can just end up painting over the template. Okay, so now I'm just gonna go ahead and trace over all my circles. And once I was done tracing, I am using the styrofoam cardboard from Dollar Tree because it is thicker and I do want them to last long and not be flimsy. So I'm simply just going to hot glue them onto the cardboard. And then I'm going to go ahead and paint them, and these are the pink tones I'm going to paint them with. And since I am going to create a pattern, so I'm doing half of each color. And you want to make sure you do end up with 12 peppermints at the end because we will have a front side and a back side. And once I was done with my peppermints, I am moving on to making my pom-poms for the garland. The yarn I did purchase at Dollar Tree, and I ended up choosing the red, the pink, and the white. Those are the 3 colors I will be using. And I am starting off with my pink and red and doing those together. And I am just wrapping it around the cardboard 75 times. If you are interested how I did this little gadget, I will link a video down below how to create this gadget. And this was not my idea. I will give credit to where credit is due, so I will link the video down below so you can go check her out. Okay, so once I was done wrapping it around 75 times, I'm just going to knot the end and the starting of my yarn, and then I am going to cut 2 extra pieces of the yarn, that way I can wrap it around the pom-pom. And I did make a mistake. I did wrap it around while it was still on the cardboard, and you don't want to do that because it doesn't tighten it all the way. So you want to go ahead and pull the yarn that you have on the cardboard to the edge and then wrap it around with your yarn. And once you have tied 2 knots, don't tighten them yet. You will remove it from your cardboard and then tighten it. And I am going in with some hot glue to secure it more. It is optional, you don't have to. Once I had secured my pom-pom, I am just going in and cutting the ends on both sides and fluffing it up. And I am using the template that I used for the peppermints. And I'm just going to place that over the pom-pom and just start trimming it to the size of the template. And I am being careful to not trim where I tie the knot of the pom-pom because that will be my guide. So just be careful not to trim that yet, guys. And once you have your pom-pom all nice and trimmed, it should look something like this, all nice and fluffy. And once I was done doing all my pom-poms, I am getting my ruler and I am wrapping the yarn around 4 times around my ruler as my guide. And once I am satisfied to the length of the yarn, I am just simply gonna go in with my hot glue gun and I am just gonna start gluing my pom-poms to the yarn. By the way, I ended up doing 3 red with pink together and then 2 pink ones and 2 white ones. So I'm not yet gluing the peppermint. I am just simply putting them in between as my guide. Now that I have my pom-poms glued onto the yarn, I am going back in and I am finally trimming the loose ends. And once again, I am going back in and I am hot gluing the center of the pom-pom and closing it. That way you don't see the string. And finally, I'm moving on to the peppermints and I'm going ahead and gluing them as well and adding the back side. And as you can see here, I originally didn't have planned to make the garland double-sided. I originally had just planned to leave it plain in the back, but I didn't like it at the end, so I did have to go back in and paint some more peppermints. And I just ended up hot gluing them to the back side. And I did follow the same pattern that I stuck the first peppermints on the front side of the garland. Done, I did notice that there was a giant gap, so I am just going in with some ribbon that I got from Hobby Lobby and I am using that as my border. That way you don't see the gap in between. You could also use some pipe cleaners, the tinsel kind, but this is what I had in hand, so I just went ahead and used this and I think it came out looking very pretty. But I am just going to go ahead and do it on all the peppermints. And that is it for this DIY, guys. This is how the garland turned out. Let me know in the comments below what you think about it.